KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Finish Line Express is now open at Cars Plus in Mighty. The state-of-the-art car wash is now open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Fighting his quarter-of-a-century prison sentence, convicted killer Juan Mendiola appeals his case before the High Court. I'm Julian Hernandez with the story on how the judiciary used this case to teach students during Law Month.
A place of worship and service burglarized just after Good Friday, a priest making a plea to the public after thieves took off with 5 solar lights from a Tosu church. I'm Matsuki Hirayama with the story.
And a record number of H-2 workers for Guam. The local labor department announcing its 4,000th worker. Nestor Lecanto with the report.
Hafa day and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Primetime. I'm Destiny Cruz. Thanks so much for joining us. A murderer is fighting to have his conviction and 25-year prison sentence overturned. Defendant Juan Mendiola's case argued before High Court justices in front of a gymnasium filled with high school students. The hearing was used to educate the youth during Law Month. Julian Hernandez reports.
Convicted of murder and serving a quarter of a century locked up, Juan Mendiola is fighting his case before the High Court's contending he was defending himself the day he shot and killed John Rios Jr. Defense attorney Joshua Walsh.
The Superior Court proceeded with Mr. Mendiola's jury trial without the public, ignoring the administrative order of this court. The Superior Court ignored the command to protect the constitutional rights of litigants in the age of COVID, cobbled together a series of procedures, and proceeded without a public trial.
Walsh arguing castle doctrine. The shooting occurring in an apartment building in Mongmong in May 2020. While Mendiola wants a second shot at fighting his case in the lower court, prosecuting attorney Marianne Woloshuk says the conviction should stand.
Criminals should not be given a free pass just because the COVID pandemic happened. The facts are the victim was waiting inside his friend's place for somebody to pick him up. The defendant tried to come in. I think the victim had a knife, so the defendant left, and instead of going home, he went to his truck and got his gun and came back. The defendant brought a gun to a knife fight, and the victim got killed.
Today's hearing happening in a rather unconventional way. This clearly isn't the Supreme Court of Guam courtroom.
Students get the opportunity to watch live arguments in a real pending case, which gives them the opportunity to observe firsthand the appellate process in action, and will give you an opportunity to participate in a question and answer with the justices and attorneys after the case is completed.
The justices will now mull over their decision on whether or not to grant Mendiola's request to have his conviction overturned or deny it, leaving him locked up for the next couple of decades. Julian Hernandez, KUAM News.
Murder defendant Jeremy Janelle Alvarez has reached a plea deal with prosecutors. Alvarez appearing before Judge Vernon Perez in Superior Court today. Details of the plea agreement have not yet been made public. The court will now review the plea deal to determine if it would accept or reject it. Alvarez will appear back in court on May 5th to find out what happens next. He stands accused in the 2020 deadly bludgeoning of 77-year-old Suncha Park Allen. As we reported, Alvarez allegedly killed Allen, hitting her with a hammer repeatedly, and later telling police he did it after she touched his genitals. A former pastor convicted of molesting a young girl was denied his request to travel ahead of serving his prison time. Renito Kalipi Bosi appeared in Superior Court today before Judge Vernon Perez. Defense asked that Bosi be allowed to travel to the Philippines to care for relatives who are ill. Prosecutors opposed the request. Judge Perez denied it, telling Bosi that court does not have any agreement with law enforcement in the foreign country who can watch out for him. Bosi, who is facing a 14th-month prison sentence for sexually abusing a 14-year-old girl, is asking the court for less time. The now registered sex offender is scheduled to begin his prison term this May. 3 of the men charged in connection to a riot at the Dedido skate park that left 3 people injured have been given plea offers ahead of their scheduled trial in the Superior Court of Guam. Defendants Chesrick Tom, Darwin Fortes, and Kason Nick appeared before Judge Vernon Perez today. Defense attorneys told the court they are reviewing the prosecutor's offers and remain in active negotiations. The 3 will be back in court on Friday. If the plea deals are rejected, then jury selection and trial will begin on April 18th. As KUAM reported, the riot occurred in March of last year. 4 others have since admitted guilt for their parts in the attack. While burglars target a Central Village church, ripping off the solar lights from the roof of the building. Parishioners noticed the theft after Good Friday. Those lights meant to provide solace for those seeking safety throughout the night. Mitsuki Hirayama speaks with the Reverend, making a plea to the public.
A day after Easter Monday, volunteers with the Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic Church noticed something was amiss.
We just realized this morning that 5 of our solar lights are actually missing, so we believe it's stolen.
Thieves ripping off 5 solar lights attached to the roof of the building, each worth nearly $100. The Totu Church's parochial administrator, Reverend Father Val Rodriguez, telling KUAM those fixtures are meant to offer solace throughout the night.
Of course, we would like to make sure that it's safe when our parishioners come, when it's already dark, that everything is lit. And thirdly, practical purpose also on our side of we don't need to switch on and off. Sometimes I'm not here, so it just automatically comes on and switches off also.
Rodriguez suspecting thieves used a ladder or climbed the church to get to the lights sometime after Good Friday. Luckily, the church has no less than 12 security cameras. He's hoping at least one captured the theft.
We have CCTV cameras. We have to review them, and I'm sure because the way they are positioned, some of them are really will be captured by the camera.
Church staff are filing a police report and looking through the footage. Meanwhile, he's asking for the community's help.
In case there be people who witness how they were stolen, maybe you can help us. It's not really more on the items, but I think it's protecting our community. We should work together as a community.
The Reverend leaving this message for the thief.
You know, we do these things for the safety of our community. I know life is difficult now, but I think it's not really enough reason for us to be stealing things.
Anyone with information is asked to call the Guam Police Department or report it to Guam Crime Stoppers. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
A bill to require legislative approval to extend a public health emergency was discussed today in a public hearing. The measure by Senator Chris Duenas would also limit some of the governor's powers in such situations. If it sounds familiar, it's because Duenas tried to push through a similar bill last term, but multiple attempts to override the governor's veto failed along party lines. Testifying in support of the measure today was a former governor's Physicians Advisory Group chairman, Dr. Hoa Win. Win stepped down midday through the pandemic over disagreements with how Adelup was asserting its emergency powers.
Kind of learned a lot during the pandemic, and I think that we should somehow limit the power of anyone to make decision, especially to affect the private side of how we run our business. And as a medical provider, doesn't matter what the governor say or anyone say, we will continue to support the community the best we can in a way that is safe for our provider, our medical staff, and provide the best care for the people of Guam.
The bill would also prohibit executive orders from limiting a number of things, including freedom to assemble on private property, free exercise of religion, and diminish or suspend a person's Second Amendment rights. There are now a record number of skilled foreign laborers here, mostly brought in for the massive military buildup. The Department of Labor says Guam has crossed the 4,000 mark, and thousands more are expected in the next few years. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Romel Tramato of Quezon City, Philippines was welcomed by Labor Director Dave De La Sola as number 4,000. Filipinos make up about 96% of the H-2B skilled labor workforce, but Alien Labor Processing Administrator Greg Massey says contractors are also starting to look elsewhere.
Korea, Taiwan, New Zealand, Australia, El Salvador, Honduras, Greece. And those are all little ones and twos, but it's still good that we're diversifying.
GDOL has been trying to recruit locally, but the pool is pretty much exhausted.
We'll pay for it through the Manpower Development Fund. So if you want to be a skilled laborer in any of the construction fields, most likely we can train you.
But they've got to be willing. And that's the biggest thing. They've got to be willing. They've got to be committed. For every 100 workers that requested, you may get one U.S. worker, one or two, and out of the two, one's not qualified, and then the other one, basically can call us. It's really a job seekers market right now. If you're a trained construction worker, you're working already.
Meanwhile, the Labor Department believes the worker numbers could eventually more than double in the years ahead.
I think 6,000 is probably going to be attainable. And we expect that, by the end of the fiscal year, or maybe by the beginning of next fiscal year, we'll be at about that range.
Yeah, and I think we'll peak around 7 to 10.
And unlike in previous years, they've also seen a 100% visa approval rate for private sector projects.
All the contractor has to do is, justify the numbers, but we had 0 denials. So that tells you right now, timing is right.
The Defense Department is seeking an extension of the H-2B visa program for Guam through the year 2029. But even when the construction cycle ends, De La Sola says jobs for local workers will continue.
When this starts to die down, there's going to be a huge opportunity for sustainability. Those are the permanent jobs to maintain everything that's being built and to upgrade and do maintenance. So that's where our people come in.
Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.
Thanks, Ness. Well, we've got more news in a moment, but first, did you know you can watch our exclusive local channel right now on Peacock by visiting peacocktv.com/local. We've got that QR code for you on your screen as well. Keep it here to KUAM.
Watch KUAM TV 8 live on Peacock. Check out our live channel, NBC shows, live sports original programming, movies, plus so much more. Visit peacocktv.com/local or download the app and subscribe today.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
The wait is over, Guam. The all-new state-of-the-art car wash is now open at Cars Plus. Introducing Finish Line Express, open 7 days a week. The all-new car wash on island that can accommodate vehicles such as lifted Jeeps and full-size pickup trucks. Just roll up, pick a wash, insert credit card, or show your EverWash app and roll through. Plus, power vacuums are available to clean the interior. Show your vehicle some love today at the all-new car wash at Cars Plus in Mighty. Open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
I just wrote a jingle for my fish sandwich. Want to hear it? Fish, fish, fish. Look at this fish. It's wild-caught pollock from Alaska. Good thing I don't need jingles to sell my food. My fish sandwich is back for a limited time.
Welcome back to Primetime. CNMI Governor Arnold Palacios is back from Japan, where he met with government and travel industry leaders, hoping to reset tourism from there. But is Japan interested, and is the CNMI ready? Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnya reports.
By and large, most of these visits are to reset, reinvigorate the Japanese market.
CNMI Governor Arnold Palacios briefing media on his 3-day trip to Japan to bring tourists back to the Commonwealth amid its pivot away from China, which made up half of visitors pre-COVID. Currently, United Airlines flies 3 times a week on the Japan route, able to accommodate 166 passengers on each flight with a local government subsidy. The latest visitor arrivals data shows a depressed traveling atmosphere. 734 people visited Saipan in December and just 453 from Japan in November.
They're traveling domestically because it's so highly subsidized. Now, come May 8th of this year, they are actually going to change the category of COVID to a category 5, which is more of an influenza. So what that means is that all these restrictions as far as having vaccinations, taking tests, and everything go away.
The governor says they're also hoping to bring back Skymark Airlines, which is based at the Haneda Airport, a location that the administration says they'd like to turn into a hub for tourists traveling to the islands because of its convenient location. But what will tourists do when they get here? The governor said 2 major blemishes for the CNMI, according to the industry experts, are its run-down tourist sites and lack of activities.
How do we fix these sites when there's no one person that has the authority to do so? And so it keeps on going around in circles. And this is basically a problem that we've had since the 14th legislature.
But the MVA is hoping to have more of that authority through legislation they're working on in the Senate. The governor agrees it's time to clean up.
Everybody has a stake in this. And, you know, the government can only do so much.
Tomas Manglonia, KUAM News, Saipan.
The Tinian Diver Airfield construction for the U.S. Air Force is currently under Phase 1 and 2, totaling more than $170 million. The military broke ground on the project last February. It comes after 6 years of negotiations, which culminated in 2019 when the U.S. Department of Defense and the CNMI government and Ports Authority inked a 40-year lease worth $21.9 million for airport and seaport projects. Rear Admiral Benjamin Nicholson provided an update to the progress during a recent visit to Saipan.
The runway itself really isn't impacted. That's going to continue to operate. But what we're building is a parallel taxiway and a parking apron, and then eventually fuel storage and a piping system from the port that goes to the fuel storage area. So that is moving along. It's going a little slow because we've encountered a few things. One of the things that we've encountered is some World War II munitions, and that can kind of slow down the process a little bit, but we're working through that.
The project is expected to be completed by October 2025. Well, it's a call to dive deeper into the exploration of sustainability, a reminder of the wealth of natural resources that surround us, and a united effort to create a sustainable future for generations to come. It's the 2023 University of Guam Conference on Island Sustainability. This year's theme, Rediscovering the Depths of Our Island's Abundance. The week-long event at the Hyatt Regency touching base on topics ranging from food security to affordable housing, led by distinguished speakers from Guam, the region, and across the globe. Featured speakers and co-chairs UOG President Dr. Thomas Christ, Governor Leon Guerrero, and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, joining the Director of UOG Sea Grant and CIS, Dr. Austin Shelton, for a peek into tomorrow's main event in a press conference today. Dr. Nicole Amase, the first Micronesian and Pacific Islander to descend to the Challenger Deep in the Marianas Trench.
The theme of the conference, Rediscovering the Depths of Our Island Abundance, could not have been more fitting for me. As someone who has been to the bottom of the ocean, I can tell you that our oceans are full of marine life and they are thriving. We are in exciting times where we have the technology to go to such ocean depths and to start to explore our ocean floors and to see what's in our waters.
The main event will kick off with an opening ceremony at 4 p.m. at the Hyatt Regency in Tumon, followed by panels and then a community night from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., which is open to the public. For the full schedule, visit uog.edu/CIS 2023. From Route 1 to Bumachacho Street, a total of 1.2 miles, now a smooth ride after 14 months long. That measure, no more surprise potholes or bumpy rides at Iseng Song Road. Officials celebrating the nearly $7 million Route 28 rehabilitation project's completion earlier today during a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Guam Department of Public Works Director Vince Areola.
A year ago, January 18th, we were on this very spot. We did the groundbreaking and everything. And look at where we are now. 14 months later, we've got a beautiful road. We've got the grass all cleaned up, the sidewalks, and have nice driveways and everything. Groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings.
A new beautiful road, not just for those who call Dededo home, but for all who traverse through. Dededo Mayor Melissa Savarez.
But the people that drive here come from Jigo, Barragada, Manila, everywhere, because what happens in Dededo is the place for convenience. We don't leave our village because everything is here.
Improvements include repaving the existing and distressed or failed asphalt, new road signage and striping, as well as reconstruction of sidewalk ramps to better serve residents with disabilities. The project was funded by the Federal Highway Administration. And now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view captured of the beautiful Tumon Bay on Wednesday. You can also expect isolated showers with highs around 87 degrees.
Everything we do with clean energy is to create a safer, healthier, and brighter future to serve our island for generations to come.
GPA has been on the path for transitioning from fossil fuel generation to a renewable and non-greenhouse gas emissions energy transition since 2007. We've been on it for quite a while.
Let's eat, y'all, let's eat, y'all, let's see if you can keep up with the beat, y'all. Take a seat, y'all, time to feast, y'all. Then let's see what you can really do for me, y'all. Crab legs, duck eggs, bon appetit, y'all. And another round of drinks, can't even speak, though. Can't keep my eyes off this precious cheese, and I thought I saw a wink, was that for me, y'all. RSVP, are you gonna be there with me? RSVP,
Are you up to date with your COVID-19 vaccines and boosters? Getting a COVID-19 vaccine, even after you've recovered from a COVID infection, provides added protection against the virus and protects you from getting seriously ill and being hospitalized. The CDC recommends that all eligible persons stay up to date with their COVID-19 vaccines and boosters per their recommendations. Get the booster for protection. Remember, prevention saves lives.
Dude, KFC's Double Down is back?
Double down, double, double, double down. Chicken, chicken, bacon, chicken, chicken, cheese. Double down, double, double, double down.
Buy a Double Down on the KFC app until March 18th for early beta access to Diablo 4.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
In front of the parents, friends, and classmates who shaped their character, and flanked by the coaches who forged their games, two Guamanian athletes, two of our very best, Kai Pa and Riley Rama, signed their letters of intent to play collegiate soccer in the mainland. Kai will be attending St. Martin's University in Washington, a Division II school just outside of Seattle, with Riley only a few hours to the south in Oregon at Division III Linfield University. True to the way they've been raised, they gratefully attributed their success to the people who've impacted them most.
I think I can be definitely a positive role model to the people around me. I think that I bring a work ethic that, especially from experience to the national teams, I can help bring the experience to other players that maybe haven't played at the highest level yet or against high level competition and help them out too.
I think I can be the same as I am now. I may not have the title as a team captain there, but I can keep the same, the leadership role as a regular player. I think that'll help me get up and earn my spot.
They've been standouts for the Father Duenas Friars, a program rooted in tradition, brotherhood, and excellence, as well as gaining next-level experience as members of the Guam national team. This elite exposure, they say, has helped them on and off the field. Both are well aware of the challenges ahead, the opportunities they've created for themselves, and the positive experiences that await as NCAA student athletes.
The national team has definitely helped me in ways that I can't imagine, especially like just training. Just I think helped me to continue to keep pushing even when I don't want to push myself. And
I'm good at adjusting to new styles of play. So whether or however they play, I think I'll be able to adjust and fit in.
So, from all of us here at KUAM and your Island family, good luck, Kai and Riley. Congratulations to your families, and we'll all be watching and cheering you on with 671 pride. You've both represented your teams and honored your parents, making them proud beyond measure. This is your day. You've both earned this. And have fun at college.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Mickey D's McCrispy, formerly known as the Crispy Chicken Sandwich, now has some respect on his name. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Real talk. The Spicy Crispy Chicken Sandwich should have been named Spicy McCrispy from jump. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
Last weekend, I had the chance to visit the UOG Class Bash and ask the current college students for their advice and insights on what incoming freshmen can expect. I gathered a wealth of information that I hope will ease the nerves of those who are embarking on this new chapter in their lives. So without further ado, let's hear what our college students had to say. What advice would you give on choosing a major?
Okay, my name is Briante Barreto. I'm a senior and I am a double major in sociology and psychology. I would say to really explore all the majors that a college has to offer, that UOG has to offer, and see which ones pique your interest, and then talk to students who are majoring and see their perspective and what they think, and that could really help you decide what to major in.
What are some opportunities you've had to get ahead in pursuit of your future career?
So at UOG, there's a lot of academic opportunities such as conferences. I've done the annual research conference here at UOG last year. And then I just came back from Bali for SO 405. It's a community development class. And basically we spent 2 weeks in Bali among the locals, and we just kind of learned about how their community is self-sustaining and how they thrive while modernity is kind of coming in with tourism. And I'm also doing, it's just a lot of conferences, really, like that feed the academic opportunities that they give. So that's mainly what I've been doing.
Okay, my name is Kyra Perez. I am currently a senior and I am double majoring in communication and media studies and philosophy. What's great about UOG is even though it's small and very secluded from the rest of the nation, is that our staff here, our faculty and administration, really try to get us to participate in bigger events. So the film industry on Guam is a little small, and we do have our local film festivals, but our Our professors in the film and media program, they push us to also enter international festivals. They also push us to enter festivals outside of the school. So the BEA, which is the Broadcasting Education Association, they have a yearly festival, and UOG is affiliated with that. So our students enter in there, and we recently won an award for a micro documentary that we filmed through our program. So that was really great, and it gives, it's just a great feeling to know that you can be on the level as the other national schools when you're so far away from them. Like we can do what they do.
What are some other tips you would give incoming freshmen?
So my name is Joseph Nicholas, and I am currently a senior here at the University of Guam. My major is Chamorro Studies for Education. For incoming freshmen, I would say be proactive and, create a calendar with all of the deadlines that you have, especially when it comes to applying, registering every single semester. Make sure you have your 4-year academic plan so that right when registration period opens up, you're able to register for that class and not have to find a backup class because the class you're in is already full. So yeah.
For incoming freshmen, I would say don't come in with like this really stringent plan. Don't come in saying, oh, I'm gonna declare my major and I'm gonna stay in that focus until I graduate. I think a lot of students make that mistake, and then they end up realizing that what they're pursuing might not be something they're really passionate about. So with UOG, what's great is there's so many different things you can explore, especially in those first couple of years when you're doing your general education. So I would say come in with like an open mind and really branch out and try to take as many different subjects as you can in your general education. That way you can really figure out what you're most passionate about.
Some tips I would give: if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. Especially if you're going to UOG and it's like your first semester and you have an advisor, don't hesitate to ask your advisor any questions you may have, even if you think they may be dumb. It's just your advisor can really shed light on a lot of things that you're questioning and all the things that you're concerned about. So I would say to talk to your advisor.
For those who are getting ready to enter the world of higher education like myself, the transition can be both exciting and daunting. I hope that the advice and tips given can help all incoming freshmen in the future prepare better for college. Sizus Maasi, and congratulations to the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences for 70 years.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
It's birthday wishes time, submitted on KUAM.com. Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shoutouts.
Happy birthday on this Super Tuesday, and it is the 11th of April, and we hope you're having a Super Tuesday today. Candy, and to my beautiful mom, you gave us life, and you give us unconditional love. We wish you a very blessed happy birthday with many more spins around the sun. We love you to eternity and beyond, from Cohen and Isabella and your families. Happy birthday, Miss Candy. We hope you have a wonderful day. Susan Pimentel Umpinko, happy birthday to a beautiful lady, both inside and out. And Susan, may you have a wonderful day as well. And Pete Sablan, and now to Nino and Master Pete, God bless you with many, many, many more years to come. All the love in the world from the Sablan and Padilla familias. So we hope each and every one of you have a wonderful day. Have an incredible birthday with friends and family.
And that's your primetime show. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Destiny Cruz. For more news, we've got you covered on KUAM.com, on social media at KUAM News, and now on Peacock. Stay safe and have a great night.
KUAM News Hotspot is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. Here we are. Hello there and hello over here. Half a day and a wonderful day to all of you watching right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, KUAM TV8, or all of you watching on Peacock, a warm half a day from our Harmon Studio 2. And by the way, happy Siblings Day
To all of you in the States, it is Siblings Day, so if you have the distinct honor, as I do, of being a brother or a sister, please reach out to your brothers or sisters and wish them a very, very good day. It's crazy. We come up with like theme days around the year now, so it's awesome things. All right, we got a real good show for you today. We are going to show you a variety of things, so here is what's on today's menu. The 2023 University of Guam Conference on Island Sustainability kicked off already today. Our Destiny Cruise is down there, and we are going to take you to Tumon, show you what's going on to teach people about sustainability on island. Very important because it is, of course, Earth Month. In Health Check, we are going to teach you how your inability to sleep may increase your chances of getting a stroke, so you want to pay attention to that. We'll also have another dose of Weekly Renewal with our friend Claire Calvo, and we have Remax Diamond Realty in the house. Liz and Gina will join us later on in the show with House to Home. But first, for Health Check, this is very, very important. If you do have trouble sleeping, it may have an indication, there may be a correlation on your likelihood for having a stroke. Here is what you need to know.
Health Check is presented to you by the Medical City.
We know good quality sleep is critical for overall health. Now, new research in the journal Neurology finds people who have sleep problems may be more likely to have a stroke. The study looked at the sleep habits of nearly 4,500 people. Their average age was 62. Researchers quizzed them about sleep behaviors, including getting too much sleep or not enough sleep, long naps, poor quality sleep, snoring, snorting, and sleep apnea. People who slept for too long or not long enough were more likely to have a stroke. Researchers reported those who had 5 or more of the sleep symptoms could have 5 times the risk of stroke compared to those with no sleep issues. The study also revealed people who got less than 5 hours of sleep a night were 3 times more likely to have a stroke than those who got 7 hours of sleep on average. About 50 to 70 million Americans have sleep disorders. 1 in 3 adults don't get the recommended 7 hours of uninterrupted sleep, according to the American Sleep Apnea Association. The research does not show sleeping problems cause strokes, only an associated risk. But researchers say improving sleep may improve your chances of avoiding a stroke. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
And now here's Claire Calvo with this week's installment of Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Hop a day, I'm Claire Calvo bringing you your Weekly Renewal. Today I am here with a dear friend of mine, Terry Perez, who is a professor at UOG, as well as a participant. You've come to the 21-day detox, the 3-week body-mind reset.
Yes.
Can you share how you, like, what did you get out of it?
Well, in terms of the detox itself, I actually, for the first time, I fully participated in the full gamut of the cooked vegan, the raw vegan, and the liquids. In terms of physical benefit, I felt like my joints started to feel better because I wasn't eating foods that really inflamed any of my joints. So I woke up in the morning with a spring in my step. Yeah. Really, pain relief was a huge physical outcome of the detox.
Excellent.
I felt just in the morning refreshed and energized, almost as if I had new insides. It was interesting.
Wait, in the past, so when you just went completely 3 weeks with just, let's just say, cooked vegan the whole time, did you feel any changes then?
No, not the same way.
Okay.
I think it really happened, things really accelerated with the raw vegan, and then with the third week, which was just all juice. In fact, juice and smoothies that last week. In fact, that week, it's so interesting. I tend to have this real obsession with food and what I eat or what I don't eat. And so when I was in that juice mode, I actually just said, cooking is a pain. I don't even want to deal. I didn't even want to deal with food.
Right.
Which is really weird. So I was okay to go to bed hungry, which is not really easy to do.
You're right.
It's not, but it was such a real mind shift.
Yeah.
So there's a mind shift that happens with the detox.
So much of it is really the mental component of getting through, let alone just one day. You know, you don't even want to think that far ahead of like, oh, one whole week. Any changes that you felt like mentally and emotionally?
With the mental thing, there was so much clarity. So I would have days where I felt foggy, but days of insane clarity, like, oh, I can remember things, or I'm super focused. Well, a big reason for me doing the detox was I was feeling a little bit more foggy. It could be age, it could be my metabolism, it could be, well, you know, being 55,
Hormones.
right, exactly, hormonal. So anything, if there were physical changes and the mental changes. So I'm like, the detox is not gonna hurt.
Right.
And that was a really big motivation to just carry through and push through with, I am going to do raw vegan. I am gonna do it because I really need to see what happens to the clarity of my mind. And it really did help. In terms of emotional, there were moments when I was incredibly emotional, incredibly like moved or sensitive, more so than I would be because of hormonal reasons, whatever that would be like. But
a lot of that is also things coming up and out. We're purging, right? That's what a cleanse is. So we're purging out a lot.
And it was kind of beautiful because when you go through that purging process, I think I was also kind of very calm in some moments.
Because every week is a transition into the next.
Right.
Because I think a lot of people don't realize that it's truly the third week when we're just on liquids.
Right.
That is like the crux of a cleanse or detox. Whereas the first week and the second are transitions into getting into that. You know, you don't want to just jolt your system and be like, okay, we're going to go straight. Like going from regular eating to straight liquid. So it's a gentle in. How did that work for you, like coming off of it?
Well, I didn't want to transition out. I think this is...
So are you still vegan now?
I'm still vegan.
Nice.
And I had a partially raw vegan meal yesterday for Easter, right? So the family had to have their meat, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I made a lot of vegan options, cooked vegan and raw vegan options.
Right.
And so to me, the big takeaway is I didn't want to leave it. And I realized, how can I sustain this? So it being the clarity of mind, the joints not hurting, the lightness I felt, because it wasn't even about weight loss. And I think I didn't go into this mindset thinking, well, I want to like lose all this weight. Okay, I could lose weight, but I mean, the whole point was the fogginess, the feeling good, feeling refreshed. It was very holistic. And so I didn't want to leave it.
Right.
I mean, this is a beautiful space to be. And so I haven't really left it. And I don't think I ever will. I think it will always be something that, well, how can I deny the positive benefits of this?
Well, we were talking about that earlier. We're saying how taking, you know, whether it's exercise or an eating plan, because, you know, I get it, plant-based is not for everyone, right? Everyone, there's so many different, you know, options now of how to achieve optimum health and wellness, and we're all different. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time for part 2 of this 2-part series.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
All right, stand by, because after this quick commercial break, we take you to Tumon, where Destiny Cruz is standing by with information about the Conference on Island Sustainability.
Want a real taste of New York? The classic New York pizza offers a big, bold taste that's a Guam favorite. It's handmade with 16 inches of foldable crust, a sweet marinara sauce, and your favorite topping. And at 30% larger than our large, classic New York pizza is only $10.99 for carryout. Bring together your family and friends for a classic New York pizza party. Each pizza is just $10.99 for carryout. Classic New York pizza. So close, you can taste it. Only at your Island Pizza Hut.
Here with this experience today, I mean, top notch.
It helps you in the long run.
Make sure that you're always checking your health. It's not only yourself that you're checking yourself. Actually, you need to check each other, and then at the same time, if you have the right facility to go to, please go to the medical center.
Watch KUAM TV 8, live on Peacock. Check out our live channel, NBC shows, live sports original programming, movies, plus so much more. Visit peacocktv.com/local or download the app and subscribe today.
Man, talk about the power of suggestion. Now I'm really, really hungry for pizza, and I want to sign up for Peacock. And so should you, because, you know, advertising works, everybody. We thank our sponsors, of course. Speaking of sponsor, we are sponsoring you down to Tumon. Like, remember the way we used to like get sponsored to go on base and have those like awesome open houses way back in the day? We are going to take you to the heart of island hospitality, where our Destiny Cruise is standing by at the University of Guam's Conference on Island Sustainability. Things got rocking and rolling this morning. They had the press conference. There's a lot going on there today. And all this week, they are talking about amazing things that we can keep our island the pristine, amazing piece of nature that it is. Hi, Des, what have you got?
Happy day, everybody. We're here at the Hyatt Regency Guam, kicking off the 2023 Conference on Island Sustainability, and we are joined by very two special. What is happening today? I'm joined by two very special people who are making this happen. I'm just going to give you guys the floor to introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Abby Crane. I am the Circular Economy Coordinator with Guam Green Growth.
And half a day, I'm Kyle Mandipat. I am the Assistant Director for Communications with the UOG Center for Island Sustainability.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited to join you guys, and I'm so excited for this conference to be kicking off. And I know that sustainability is something that a lot of people are really engaging with. So I wanted to ask you both, what is this theme or this year's theme of the conference?
This year's theme is Rediscover the Depths of Our Island Abundance. And you know, there's been so much that's gone on recently about kind of making sure that we preserve what we got, which is again very important. But now it's time to take it to the next level. Can we get back in and talk about the things that make us abundant here? Stuff like capacity building and education, stuff like food sovereignty and making sure that we have enough food for our people. So that's really what this is. It's a call to move to the next step. A lot of folks are really excited for sustainability, like you mentioned, Des, and now is a chance for us to take it to the next level, go a little bit deeper and see what we can pull out for our people.
Definitely, and taking that next step also requires partnership, right? So I was wondering if you guys can kind of tell me who are the partners for this year's conference?
Okay, all right, that's me again. So yes, we've got a great line of partners upstairs as we speak. Our friends from GPA are currently continuing the Guam Clean Energy Transition Convention and conference that's been going on since yesterday. Gita, of course, a huge supporter of the movement as well. And of course, the Local 2030 Islands Network, which is a worldwide organization that's dedicated to continuing the discussion and moving islands forward. We've got a lot of other great partners, United Airlines, our friends from PFM, just a whole bunch of great people that are going to be partaking in the events, both maybe as panelists or speakers, but also as vendors and partners. And then there are a lot of folks who just want to make sure that this information is available for our people here on Guam as well as through the world. All of our events and all of our topics and our speakers will be broadcast, of course, worldwide with the help of technology. This is a hybrid conference, so we're going to be able to have them here. We're going to be able to welcome everybody back into the conference for a hands-on and in-person event as well, and we're really excited about it.
Right, and you mentioned so much togetherness and hands-on as well. So Abby, we're standing in front of this very interesting and amazing centerpiece. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so this whale, it's actually a whale skeleton, and it was created from a lot of our abundance of plastic waste, right? And so we have everything from medicine bottles to protein bottles, water bottles, just a whole bunch of different plastic waste that we've collected from the community, from community donations to our makerspace. And this took a span of 3 days to create with the Guam Green Growth Conservation Corps as well as the makerspace team. And we just wanted to create this skeleton here to kind of be a message to people like this is, you know, the waste that we create, and it can not only harm our environment, but you know, it has a lot of impact. And so we wanted to just show and make a statement about, you know, the waste that we're creating. And we do offer solutions for this plastic waste at the Makerspace, an innovation hub in Chamorro Village, where we are beginning to use our precious plastic machine to create other products from our waste.
Definitely, and I love that it's representative of the message that you guys are all trying to push forward. And it's a message that, again, so many people want to engage in. So I just wanted to ask you, for everybody who's watching right now, how can they join in on the conference?
Oh, okay. So tomorrow is our opening ceremony at 4 o'clock, and that is open to the public, which is followed by community night, which we will have several vendors as well as entertainment and some refreshments. And that is open from 4 to 7 o'clock to 7:30. I'm sorry, 4 to 7:30 here in the Grand Ballroom at the Hyatt Regency Hotel.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, that is, you guys have a fun-filled and definitely a packed schedule. But I guess, what is your message to everybody to come on down?
I think that this is a great opportunity. As we mentioned earlier, we're going to have people who are partaking in the conference from all around the world. This is a chance for you, us here on Guam, to be able to avail of this knowledge, this wisdom, to share these ideas with people who have been moving forward and trying to do great things for the planet for many, many years. So I welcome everybody down. You could visit our website. That's uog.edu/CIS2023. You could follow us on social media at the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability. You can see the full agenda, the full lineup of speakers, and the great conference schedule that we've got planned for you if you check out any of those resources. Again, tomorrow, as Abby mentioned, with the kickoff ceremony and with community night, it's open to the public, so come on in and let's partake in that. It's absolutely free. We're gonna have food, you guys, okay? So you can come on over for that, and we'll also have your chance to win some great prizes, including a paddleboard. I mean, a lot of folks want to get out there and see what we're living under, and at the same time, there's a lot of people who don't get that opportunity to see our ocean from that perspective. So this will give you a chance to experience it from a paddleboard. We're going to be doing that tomorrow as well. Everybody's invited. We'd love to have you. If you have any questions, if you have any community groups that you'd like to partner with us on, or anything like that, this is a great opportunity to make those connections, for you to see what we can do together as a people, as an island, as a world, for sustainability, as we rediscover the depths of our island's abundance at the 2023 University of Guam Conference on Island Sustainability.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to pull that away, but you heard it here. Thank you, Abby, and thank you, Kyle, and you heard it here. If you guys are interested, come on down to the 2023 Conference on Island Sustainability. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Destiny. Fun all around there in Tumon. Once again, the heart of island hospitality, of so many wonderful things going on. All right, 3 things I want to take away from that, right? 3 things before we go to commercial break, because we got House to Home coming up after this. 3, right? 1, I love the cameo by former Senator Bob Klitsky, who just like walked by, half a day senator. 2, Mike, is Destiny still on the line? No. Okay, we'll send a message to Destiny, because I want to get one of those shirts that Kyle and Abby were wearing. Those were awesome. So if for any reason go down there, you get information and possibly like come away with a really, really cool shirt. And then 3, Joan, our beloved producer, the boss around here, told me something, right? If I roll these up, do I look like Crockett from Miami Vice? I don't know. Ruminate on that while we go to commercial break. So,
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Howdy, folks. Nobody loves a Guam potluck more than I do. That's why I always bring my world-famous chicken, served any way you like it. Original recipe, extra crispy tenders, Kentucky Fried Wings, and more. Only at KFC Guam. Whoops. Well, it is finger-looking good.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Okay, so in my capacity right now, we're speaking as the chairman for the Guam Building Code Council. So the Guam Building Code Council was formed a few years back because of the transition from the building codes, from the Uniform Building Code to the International Building Code. So what happened was that there was several codes in the United States, and they all had different things that they were doing. So they decided as states and territories to combine everything in one International Building Code, and that's what we followed. So because of the code change, and our laws were references that had to change. And let me just give you a little brief history. There was a Guam Building Energy Code back in that was implemented around year 2000, based on a study by the U.S. Department of Energy for Guam and American Samoa. And it was enforced for roughly about 10 years by DPW until 2009, when the ICC, or the International Code Conference, came in and the codes came into effect. Then in 2009, there was a Model Tropical Energy Code that was again funded for Guam, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, and the sea, which unfortunately was never implemented. So some laws were passed to there was a public law 30-199 that mandated the Guam Building Code Council be created and an energy code for Guam adopted. So what we did, the council was formed. I wasn't initially on the council, but then there was two key members that were really the driving force behind this, which is Brent Weesey, who was the previous chair, and Mr. Bill Miller, who is a mechanical and fire protection engineer. So they modified this 2009 Model Tropical Energy Code, and then came up with the what is now the adopted Guam Tropical Energy Code, which became effective this year, 1/23/23. It was the public law actually passed 2 years ago, and it gave consumers and engineers and a chance to let things settle down, and then finally adopt it 2 years later, or enforce it after two years later after adopting it. Okay. The purpose of the code is to provide minimum design requirements to achieve energy efficient buildings constructed in Guam. We all know that we have some big power demands here on the island, particularly because of our cooling requirements. It's so hot on Guam. And the less energy we use, or the more energy we save, the less demands on the government just to keep improving and expanding and building new infrastructure to support, the energy usage. So it's a wise thing to do. If you save energy, your power bills go down. Your water bills could potentially go down. So that's the whole premise of it, right? It's supposed to work so that it'll be a benefit to the people of Guam, and also help our government and our taxpayers, so we don't have to fork out so much. So let me talk about what it impacts and who it impacts. So first I'll speak about who's not impacted by this, or what's not impacted by this. So registered historical buildings are not impacted by it. And these are, stuff on the National Registry. So we got some old structures out there, 50 years old, that have a historical significance. They aren't affected by it. Temporary structures are not affected by it. Temporary structures are defined as a structure that's only up for about 6 months. Then you got to take it down. You see these temporary buildings around here for like construction and stuff. Single family residences in architectural, one family dwelling zones with less than 1,200 square feet of building are exempt from the envelope and the AC requirements. So smaller type of
Tom, excuse me, so if you're building a house currently, but it's less than 1,200 square feet, you don't have to worry about meeting this particular code.
Yes, that's correct.
And I've got a question, if I mind, Tom, because if you and Liz and Gina and I have talked about like the topic of doing what we as Guamanians so often do here is you build like an extension maybe, or like in the States they say like a casita. Would you have to retroactively apply these new energy things if in fact like now the square footage of your home expanded?
We had actually addressed that. So alterations less than 400 square feet in area do not need to comply.
Okay. So they measure it by the extension itself, not the total. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Right. Okay.
So about 20 by 20 square foot, and then I'll go into other conditions. Lighting requirements are residential structures are exempt from that. So incandescent lights burn hot, right, and they use a lot of energy. There's been a transition to LEDs, and that was also from fluorescents also, which actually burn a lot of energy from my understanding. So that's pretty much a given here on Guam. Now, what is impacted? 1 second here. Let me get my notes together. Okay, what is impacted are new buildings, additions and alterations, renovations, or repairs to existing buildings with changes in occupancy, roof replacements, new or replacements of air conditioning, water heaters, lighting equipment in existing buildings. So again, this is, let me it's a broad scope, but if it has to go through the building department for any sort of permits, then you have to come